In this video, we're going to talk about how to create new routines by building on your healthy habits to help you stay on top of your game, even when you don't know what that game is.
We'll be sharing some of the habits that we've adopted now that we have more time to focus on our health and our mental well-being, and hopefully it's helpful to you too.
So let's start with the morning. The first thing we do when we wake up, we tend to listen to a meditation, something to get us in a good mindset. So we've been listening to an app called Calm, and there's something called the Daily J. And it's just a little way to kind of center your brain on focusing on something that's positive and informative. So that's the first thing we do, usually before we even get out of bed, even though sometimes we just hop out of bed and do it in another room. But that's the number one thing we do.
And it's really not a good idea to just look at your phone first thing in the morning. I think I've read some studies that say it really sort of scrambles your brain and sets you off on the wrong foot for the day in terms of staying focused. So we try really hard not to do that. Although I have to say, I usually look at my Oura app to see how I've slept. Cliff lost his Oura ring, so he can't do that.
And I don't care. Honestly, I don't miss it so much because I kind of know that I'm kind of in the zone. But I guess that the bottom line is we're, starting our day with scrambled brains instead of scrambled eggs. And that is something that we've made a choice. We know it's not what we should do, but the whole thing about habits and routines, just because you have something to go for that is the right way to do it and you really should do this, it's never going to be perfect. So if you can just try and do a little bit of some of this and adopt it and make it part of your life, then you're just going to be moving in the right direction. You don't have to be perfect, because trust me, none of us are.
And then we have lemon water. We both have a glass of water with like half a lemon squeezed in it. I've been doing room temperature. Yeah. I've been doing that since I was 20 years old. My grandmother used to do it, actually. And that really helps get your system moving. It kind of wakes up your digestion. I think it alkalizes you.
It does, which is weird because you would think it's acidic, but it actually does alkalize you, and it feels really good. And also your body almost feels like you've eaten something. You know how when you first get up, you feel like you have to eat? I've had times when I felt that way, on the way to the gym especially. But this actually fools your body into thinking you've given it food, so it's filling in a way.
Yeah. And we typically do intermittent fasting, which we were kind of doing before intermittent fasting was even as popular as it is now.
It was called forgetting to eat.
We're too busy to eat.
But we'll call it intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Well, now it is, right? So now we're really mindful about not eating in the morning. So we typically go 16 hours without eating. And it's interesting because I used to be really hungry in the morning and I always had to eat, and I would eat early. And once I started really consciously doing that,
You train yourself.
Yeah, I'm not hungry at all until probably about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it is amazing how your body adapts to this. And you don't starve. You think you will, but there's a real habit that we all develop about eating early and eating often. And you can retrain your body, and it doesn't take long.
Right. I was getting up and we were getting up and having athletic greens in probably about half an hour after our lemon water. And I just found out that actually throws you out of ketosis. I didn't know that. So now we wait to have our athletic greens, which if you haven't tried it, highly recommend. Really has comprehensive vitamins and minerals and probiotics and prebiotics. And it's, for me, from a nutrition standpoint, has been a game changer and is especially helpful when you're traveling and you're not really getting the nutrition you need.
Yeah, it also just makes you feel good that you're getting your greens and everything that goes along with that. So you don't have to think at the end of the day, did I eat a salad today or whatever? It really does help. Checks a box.
Yep. And then we typically go upstairs. We have a room sort of dedicated to exercising and meditation. And we do our Egoscue exercises. And if you don't know about Egoscue, you definitely should.
Yeah, this comes up so often you wouldn't believe it. People have so many back issues all the time. And I don't know if it's because life is so stressful or inflammation from all the, bad food we eat and do to ourselves and stress. But Egoscue is a structural therapist that we found out when we were working with Tony Robbins at one point. His assistant told us that that's where Tony goes when his back goes out. And once I found out about this guy and we went there, he happens to be 2 towns away from us. The very first appointment I had with him, because my back was going out a lot, I all the pain in my back went away, and it was like kind of miraculous. And it's so basic what he does, and once you see what it is, you go, oh God, what did I think of that? But it really helps, and all of us have back issues now and then, and when you do, these exercises are a really good thing to do, and for maintenance, it's great to do. So this is part of our routine.
I'll put a link to his book, Pain Free, down below. New habit that we have incorporated that has been really powerful, and that's getting sun in our eyes within the first hour of waking up. And it doesn't matter if it's sunny or if it's not, but if it's sunny, I think it's anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Just stand outside. Obviously, don't stare at the sun. That would be bad.
But hold on. It's interesting. You should explain that, because you look off to the side. You just let the sunlight hit your eyes, and you shouldn't wear glasses. That kind of undoes it.
Yes, no glasses. And you can't do it through a window. You have to really be outside in direct sunlight. If you're squinting, it's too direct. So maybe look at it sort of filtered through something, or again, look at it a little to the side.
Explain the science of this.
According to Andrew Huberman, who I will also link to his podcast below, he says that getting sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning is probably the single biggest, can have the single biggest impact on your health. And it helps reset your hormones. It resets your metabolic system. It kind of sets your day from a mental health perspective. Set your day off on the right foot. And I noticed for me that it has been a game changer.
It's helped with my sleep a lot, because it resets your body clock to know when to start making melatonin. So at night I've been going to bed and actually going to sleep, because I used to lay in bed for like an hour before going to sleep, and now I'm actually going to sleep since I've started doing this. So it does make a difference.
Right. For me, one of my newest discoveries that I am really into is my red light mask. And that, I'm telling you, has helped my skin so much. So Cliff hates it because
it looks like Iron Man, and it's really, really scary. I mean, honestly, it's one of the scarier looking things. Can I put a picture of this?
Yes.
Okay, it's really scary. I mean, honestly, it's like those eyebrow things, not eyebrow, those eyelash tweakers.
Eyelash tweakers.
I don't know. It freaks me out. But anyway, it has really helped her skin. So it's supposedly wonderful. It's all the rage.
I will put a link to that down below too, because it highly, highly recommend. They even make one for men, but he won't use it.
Not yet. I haven't gotten there yet. And then we take a few minutes and write in our gratitude journals. And I know we've talked about this before, and everyone talks about gratitude journals, but they are so important. And no matter how much you think it's going to be a pain in the neck, or you don't feel like it, just write 3 things in your gratitude journal. It doesn't matter how simple they are. Just be happy that you're in your house and you're able to do this. And then you also write 3 things that would make today fantastic. And those 3 things you're going to review later. So it gives you a goal for the day, and it really helps set the tone for where you're going.
So another new thing that we've started incorporating that has also had a really big impact is integrating breathing exercises, and cyclical breathing in particular. And we had been toying with that for a little while, but a new study came out last week. Stanford University just released a study on the profound impact it can have on the brain, even more than meditation, which is very surprising. So we are just doing 5 minutes of cyclical breathing, and that's as simple as...
Let's show them what this is.
Okay,
so it's like... Everybody now. Anyway, it seems silly, but just try it like one day, and I think you'll see that it starts making a difference in your brain health and your perspective.
And your energy.
Yeah.
I think it helps your energy a lot. When we can, we also try to meditate. And sometimes that looks like 5 minutes a day. Sometimes, our ultimate goal is to meditate for 20 minutes a day, but we don't always have time for that.
No, and honestly, meditating for 3 deep breaths and centering yourself is better than not doing it at all. If you can do more, fantastic. But, all of this that we're talking about, the way we've described it, it sounds like 7 hours of stuff. It's really not. I mean, honestly, it's probably about an hour and 15 minutes total that we do this morning routine. But we get up early enough to do that and be able to still be kind of ready to hit the ground running, whatever we're going to do that day before 9 o'clock. So just realize that.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a lot more time consuming than it is.
Yeah.
But it does depend what we do to exercise that day. So
right.
We have, sometimes it's just a 15-minute mirror class or a 30-minute mirror class, or at least a couple times a week we go out for about a 15-minute hike.
Yeah, usually at least 3 times a week to do that, because we have a lot of hills around here. So it's a night, and also it gets you outside. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone if you can do it while you're getting the light in your eyes. So, and also when we're doing that walk, we can also listen to podcasts. We can educate ourselves, and it's very gratifying, and it's great to be outside, and it's beautiful. So nothing wrong with that. And no matter where you are, getting outside is healthy, and walking is healthy. And, even if it's freezing out, just dress for it. Now, when we don't have enough time to do some of, what we said before, I have an app that I've used for a long time. I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. It's 7-minute workout. I know it's old school and it's been on my phone for a long time, but the fact is it uses your body weight. You don't have to have any equipment. And in 7 minutes, I guarantee you're going to feel like you did something. You'll huff and puff and you'll actually feel like you worked out. And it does affect the rest of my day. So at the very least, find 7 minutes to do that.
It's a great workout. It's really hard. I don't love it.
It is hard. And, I sometimes I do it twice in a row. The second time is brutal. But at least it feels like, you're getting something done. Then we eat something. So we try to eat a high protein breakfast. Cheryl likes eggs more than I do. Sometimes I'll join her. I just don't like animal protein as much as I like vegetable protein. So I tend to just do a protein drink, something like that. Bottom line is getting some protein in us before noon really helps kind of power through the rest of the day.
And we try to drink a boatload of water with varying degrees of success. Try to get in 70 ounces of water a day, which is a lot of water.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
You almost have to force yourself to drink more water than you think you possibly could. Whatever you need to do, maybe a little post-it on your computer just saying, drink, water, it will help. So that's really it. And at the end of the day, if you can do any of this, it makes for a better day. And honestly, I can see that we could easily get sucked back into being very, very busy again and letting a lot of this fall to the wayside. So before life gets in the way, try some of this and see if it helps. Okay?
Okay, and if you found this helpful, please follow us and subscribe. Thanks. Ciao.